1 Samuel 14, dumb promises. How many of you have ever made a dumb promise before in your life and later said, man, that was dumb. I should not have done that, okay? Now it came to pass upon a day that Jonathan, the son of Saul, remember Saul was the king who was head and shoulders above everybody, said to the young man that bare his armor, come, let us go over to the Philistines' garrison that's on the other side. But he told not his father. Here's Jonathan saying to his armor bearer, his best buddy, let's go provoke the Philistines. Like, right, they got 36,000 chariots or something like that, you know. They got a huge army. Let's go poke them. Right, okay. And Saul tarried in the uttermost part of Gibeah under a pomegranate tree, which is in Migron, and the people that were with him were about 600. Here they are going up against thousands, and they got 600. So Jonathan and his armor bearer says, hey, let's go get them. You ever have a good friend that'll just stick with you no matter what? They're just going to stick with you. Amen. And Ahiah, the son of Ahitub, Ichabod's brother, the son of Phinehas, the son of Eli, the Lord's priest, wearing an ephod. And the people knew not that Jonathan was gone. So here we got these three guys going to go off and fight the Philistines, and one of them is his armor bearer, and the other one's the son of a priest. You know, it's important that you choose godly friends. Jonathan knew how to choose good friends. How many have ever had a bad friend? Did you awful, okay? Bible says in 1 Thessalonians, comfort yourselves together and edify one another. The word edify means to build up, like an edifice is a big building, okay? Edify, build each other up. Can't you say something nice? Like one guy took this huge fat girl out for a date, you know, and his mom said, now, son, you got to say something nice. Okay, be nice. He's thinking hard, you know. She got in the car, leaned over to the side, and he drove her to the meal, and she ate $20 worth of food at McDonald's and went out for Dairy Queen afterwards, and she had 3 banana splits, and he's taking her home, and his brain is racing. I got to say something nice. What can I say nice? Finally, he's walking her up to the door, and he said, you know, for a fat girl, you don't sweat much. Anyway, find something nice to say, okay? Edify, all right? Jonathan chose godly friends. The Bible says, be not deceived. Evil communications corrupt good manners. Old English phrase, communications, the people you communicate with, your friends. You get evil friends, it'll corrupt you. How many ever did something dumb because you're with a dumb friend? You wouldn't have done it on your own. You get dumb and dumb together. It's amazing what they'll do, brother. Amazing. An ungodly man diggeth up evil, and in his lips there's a burning fire. A froward, that means a stubborn man, soweth strife, and a whisperer separateth chief friends. How many ever had a good friend leave you because somebody was whispering about you behind your back? And yeah, okay. A violent man enticeth his neighbor, and leadeth him into the way that is not good. A man that hath friends must show himself friendly. And there's a friend that sticketh closer than a brother. I think that's referring to Jesus Christ. Ointment and perfume rejoice the heart. So doth the sweetness of a man's friend by hearty counsel. Thine own friend and thy father's friend forsake not. I've got friends I've had for 30 and 40 years, and I love it. Long time friends. I've known Ernie, our head trustee, probably for 30 years, long time, okay? Bill Sardi, long-time friend of mine, another trustee of our ministry. I like to keep friends for a long time. I don't want to lose any. I mean, if they want to leave, they can, but I'm not trying to lose any. Anyway, and above all things, have fervent charity among yourselves, for charity shall cover the multitude of sins. You don't have to tell everything you know. If you know something bad about somebody, shut up. You don't have to tell everything. Oh, charity covers a multitude of sins. Sometimes it's just kind and loving to just cover. Don't tell anybody. Use hospitality one to another without grudging. For Proverbs 17, a friend loveth at all times, and a brother is born for adversity. Proverbs 22, make no friendship with an angry man, and with a furious man thou shalt not go, lest thou learn his ways and get a snare to thy soul. How many of you ever were friends with an angry or furious person, and it ended up getting you in trouble? Yeah. See, Proverbs is full of wisdom. We ought to just read. There's 31 chapters in the book, right? You could read a chapter a day for the rest of your life. Every month, go through the book of Proverbs, and you would gain enormous wisdom. You could read a chapter in about 3 minutes if you have it read out loud to you. while you're in your car driving somewhere or laying down, shut off the TV and the stupid video game and read some Bible. Proverbs 13. He that walketh with wise men shall be wise, but a companion of fools shall be destroyed. You hang around fools, they'll ruin your life, right? Jonathan had some good friends. Colossians 3. Put on, therefore, as the elect of God, holy and beloved, bowels of mercies, kindness, humbleness of mind, meekness, long-suffering, forbearing one another, forgiving one another. If any man have a quarrel against any, even as Christ forgave you, so also do ye. When's the last time you just said, okay, we're not going to solve this fight. I forgive you. Sometimes that's all you can do. I forgive you. Okay. Above all these things, put on charity, which is the bond of perfectness. And let the peace of God rule in your hearts. Boy, those who are fighting and arguing all the time, they don't have the peace of God in their heart. I want to have peace. I want to go to bed at night with a clear conscience. And, man, 9:45 every night I crash because 4 o'clock comes early. I don't do anything at 4, but it just comes early, okay? Let the peace of God rule in your hearts, to the which also ye are called in one body, and be thankful. Let the word of Christ dwell in you richly in all wisdom, teaching and admonishing one another in psalms and hymns and spiritual songs. What kind of music do you listen to? Would it qualify as songs, hymns, spiritual songs? Remember, I was with a good Christian friend of mine one time. We're doing construction, and he's listening to his rock and roll music. And they were singing some song. This was a long time ago, back in the, I don't know, it was a long time ago, 70 something. And they were singing a song on the radio, and he's a Christian, a good friend of mine. And we're building this place, and they were singing a song, do what you really want to do, go where you really want to go, rape whoever you want to rape, I think is what it said. I went over and shut the radio off. I said, did you hear what they just said? Do you want to fill your mind with this stuff all day? I don't. Okay, put some headphones on or earplugs or something. I don't want to hear this. Okay, what do you is your psalms and hymns and spiritual songs singing with grace in your hearts to the Lord? Be careful what you put in your ears. It'll get stuck in your head. Okay. Anyway, back to 1 Samuel. And Ahai, the son of Ahitub, Ichabod's brother, the son of Eli, the Lord's priest. So he's got these two guys going to go with him, and let's go poke the Philistines, see if we can stir up some trouble. Should not be a problem, boys. And between kids do dumb things once in a while, don't they? Hey, let's try that. Hey, y'all, watch this. Famous last words. Okay. And between the passages by which Jonathan sought to go over unto the Philistines' garrison, there was a sharp rock on the one side and a sharp rock on the other side. And the name of the one was Bozez, and the name of the other Shina. They named the rocks. Anyway, two sharp rocks. He's going to go between them and go pick on the Philistines. All right. The forefront of the one was situate northward. Who cares where the rocks were? Okay. And Jonathan said to the young man that bare his armor, come and let us go over unto the garrison of these uncircumcised. It may be that the Lord will work for us, for there is no restraint to the Lord to save by many or by few. Hey, guys, let's go attack the garrison. Brilliant idea, Jonathan. Let's just go do that. Okay. And his armor bearer said unto him, do all that is in thine heart. Turn thee, behold, I am with thee according to thy heart. That's a great friend. Jonathan, you do what you want, I'm with you. And Jonathan said, behold, we will pass over unto these men, and we will discover ourselves unto them. And if they say thus unto us, tarry until we come to you, then we will stand still in our place and not go up to them. But if they say, come up unto us, then will we go up, for the Lord hath delivered them into our hand. Are we okay there, brother? And this shall be a sign unto us. And both of them discovered themselves unto the garrison of the Philistines. And the Philistines said, behold, the Hebrews have come forth out of the holes where they had hid themselves. They're mocking them, of course, you know. And the men of the garrison answered Jonathan and his armor bearer and said, come up to us. We will show you a thing. And Jonathan said to his armor bearer, come up after me, for the Lord hath delivered them into the hand of Israel. Right. How many's in a garrison? 20 or 30? You know, let's go get them. And Jonathan climbed up upon his hands and upon his feet, and his armor bearer after him. And they fell before Jonathan, and his armor bearer slew after him. Jonathan knocked him down. The armor bearer sent him on to wherever they're going to meet the Lord. Okay? And that first slaughter, which Jonathan and his armor bearer made, was about 20 men. Within as it were, a half-acre of land which a yoke of oxen might plow. And there was trembling in the host, in the field, and among all the people, the garrison and the spoilers. They all trembled, and the earth quaked. So it was a very great trembling. You imagine everybody shaking so hard they're scared that the earth shook. And the watchmen of Saul in Gibeah of Benjamin looked, and behold, the multitude melted away. And they went on beating down one another. So the Philistines started fighting each other. This is great when you can get your enemies to fight each other. Just step back and watch them. Then said Saul unto the people that were with him, number now and see who is gone from us. Somebody's missing. And when they had numbered, behold, Jonathan and his armor bearer were not there. And Saul said to Ahai, bring hither the ark of God. Saul doesn't get it yet, okay? He's not a priest. Saul, you're not a priest. This is Samuel's job. But for the ark of God was at that time with the children of Israel. And it came to pass while Saul talked unto the priest that the noise that was in the host of the Philistines went on and increased. And Saul said to the priest, withdraw thine hand. And Saul and all the people that were with him assembled themselves, and they came to the battle. And behold, every man's sword was against his fellow. And there was a very great discomfiture. Moreover, the Hebrews that were with the Philistines before that time, which went up with them into the camp, for the country was round about, even they also turned to be with the Israelites that were with Saul. They were the ones that had turned over and said, oh, we'll work with you Philistines, the traitors. And they changed their mind and came back. Some people, they kind of look and see which side's winning and decide where to join. You ever met anybody like that? They don't have any mind of their own. Who's winning? Oh, okay, I'll go that way. Likewise, all the men of Israel, which hid themselves in Mount Ephraim, when they heard that the Philistines fled, even they also followed hard after them in the battle. And the Lord saved Israel that day, and the battle passed over unto Bethaven. So, Philistines had 30,000 chariots, 6,000 horsemen, and people like the sand of the seashore. Israelites had King Saul and Jonathan and 600 soldiers, and an earthquake and God's help. That's all you need. I love it. Numbers mean nothing to God. Some kid, I suspect, did this. And the men of Israel were distressed that day, for Saul had adjured the people, saying, cursed be the man that eateth any food until evening. Saul, this is a dumb command, okay? Your guys are out fighting, and you're going to say, you're chasing, the Philistines are running, and your guys are chasing them, trying to finish them off. And you say, anybody who eats anything gets a curse. That's a dumb promise to make. That I may be avenged of mine enemies. This is all ego for Saul, okay? So none of the people tasted any food. And as they of the land came to a wood, there was honey upon the ground. And when the people were come into the wood, behold, the honey dropped, but no man put his hand to his mouth, for the people feared the oath. But Jonathan heard not when his father charged the people with the oath. Wherefore he put forth the end of the rod in his hand, and dipped it in a honeycomb, and put his hand to his mouth, and his eyes were enlightened. You ever been starving and you can't think straight? And when you finally eat something, it's like, oh, you get back alert. Then answered one of the people and said, thy father straitly charged the people with an oath, saying, cursed be the man that eateth any food this day. And the people were faint, were tired, wearing out. Then said Jonathan, my father hath troubled the land. See, I pray you, how mine eyes have been enlightened, because I tasted a little of this honey. How much more, if happily the people had eaten freely today of the spoil of the enemies, which they found? For had there not been now a much greater slaughter among the Philistines? And they smote the Philistines that day from Michmash to Ajalon, and the people were very faint. And the people flew upon the spoil, and took sheep and oxen and calves, and slew them on the ground, and the people did eat them with the blood. Big no-no. When they got off the ark, God said, Noah, you can eat meat, but don't eat the blood. Later in the book of Leviticus, it gives the laws, don't eat the blood. Then they told Saul, saying, behold, the people sin against the Lord, in that they eat with the blood. And he said, ye have transgressed. Roll a great stone unto me this day. And Saul said, disperse yourselves among the people, and say to them, bring me hither every man his ox, and every man his sheep, and slay them here, and eat. And sin not against the Lord in eating with the blood. For all the people brought every man his ox with him that night, and slew them there. And Saul built an altar unto the Lord. The same was the first altar that he built unto the Lord. It's about time, Saul. You've been anointed king. You've been king for a couple of years now. I think it's about time you start taking your dedication to God seriously. Some of you, it's about time you say, okay, I'm gonna start taking this serious. I'm now dad. I got kids. I better take this serious. Or I now work in a ministry. I better take this serious. I want people to come here to say, wow, this is a ministry reaching the world. I better take this seriously. I better look at my own testimony. And Saul said, let us go down after the Philistines by night and spoil them until the morning light. He said, oh, let's keep going, guys. Let's keep fighting them all night. And let us not leave a man of them. Kill them all. And they said, do whatsoever seemed good to thee. Then said the priest, let us draw hither unto God. Let's go ask God's opinion. Now, this is going to be a strange passage, okay? And Saul asked counsel of God, shall I go down after the Philistines? Wilt thou deliver them into the hand of Israel? But he answered him not that day. How would God answer the people? It seems, and this is, I've never heard anybody get this nailed down solid enough, but it seems like the priest had a breastplate with 12 stones on it. 2 of them were called the Urim and the Thummim. One was yes, one was no. And so they would ask a question, and apparently one of the stones would vibrate or hum or light up, or I don't know. That's the theory, that the Urim and the Thummim, these 2 stones on the breastplate, would do something. In the Hebrew Bible, the Urim and the Thummim are elements of the hosen, the breastplate worn by the high priest, attached to the ephod. They're connected with divination in general and cleromancy in particular. You can Google Urim and Thummim and see all 40 different opinions on what this was. But one time it says God answered by Urim and Thummim. So apparently Saul asked and God didn't answer. And Saul said, draw ye near hither, all the chief of the people, and know and see wherein this sin hath been this day. Because he's thinking, boy, God didn't answer. There must be some sin. And maybe if God's not answering your prayers, you got some sin in your life someplace. You just might want to think about that, okay? Man, many times I said, God, show me. I want to be right with you. I don't care if everybody else likes it or not. I want you to be happy. Lord, are you happy? So the Urim and the Thummim, you can study that for yourself. For as the Lord liveth, which saveth Israel, though it be in Jonatan my son, he shall surely die. But there was not a man among all the people that answered him. So Saul was wondering, why didn't God answer me? There must be sin in the camp. Even if it's my own son, he's going to die. Saul is quite an ego problem, okay? It's pretty easy to see the guy's a narcissist, okay? Bible says, answer not a fool according to his folly, lest thou be like unto him. Remember, it says, the people didn't answer him. There was not a man among all the people that answered him. Everybody just, sometimes that's all you can do. When a fool keeps talking, walk off. I feel that way in some of the debates. Okay, we're done. Bye. Make no friendship with an angry man, and with a furious man thou shalt not go. They will get you in trouble. If a wise man contend or argue with a foolish man, whether he laugh or rage, there's no rest. You're not going to solve it. He's a fool. Then said he to all Israel in 1 Samuel, be ye on one side, and I and Jonathan my son on the other side. So now they're going to kind of cast lots. Hey, let's see where this sin is. All the people over here, and me and Jonathan over here will flip a coin. Who's guilty? Or cast lots, or throw dice, or whatever they did. And the people said to Saul, do what seemeth good to thee. Therefore Saul said unto the Lord thy God, God of Israel, give a perfect lot. And Saul and Jonathan were taken, but the people escaped. This business of casting lots is found all through the Bible. The Bible says in Proverbs, the lot is cast into the lap, but the whole disposing thereof is of the Lord. Strange verse. Cast lots between me and Jonathan my son, and Jonathan was taken. Then said Saul to Jonathan, tell me what thou hast done. And Jonathan told him and said, I did but taste a little honey with the end of the rod that was in my hand, and lo, I must die? I ate a little honey off the end of my rod, so I must be killed? Come on, Dad, you got to be kidding. And Saul answered, God do so, and more also, for thou shalt surely die, Jonathan. This casting lots is interesting. Mark chapter 6, the daughter of the said Herodias came in and danced and pleased Herod and them that sat with him. The king said to the damsel, ask of me whatsoever thou wilt, and I will give it to thee. This is his stepdaughter. So his stepdaughter comes in and dances before them. And there's only one reason I can think they would do that. Okay? And it pleased all the men. Yeah, we like that. He said, what do you want? I'll give it to you. And he sware unto her, whatsoever thou shalt ask of me, I will give it thee, unto the half of my kingdom. That's a dumb promise, Herod. And she went forth and said unto her mother, what shall I ask? And she said, the head of John the Baptist. See, this woman hated that preacher, John the Baptist, so bad. Because he had said, Herod, it's not lawful for you to have her for a wife. So she wanted to kill him. Here's her chance. She got her daughter, go dance before these guys. So she danced before the guys. And we could go off on that for a long time. And he said, give me, what do you want? She said, I want John the Baptist's head. She came in straightway with haste unto the king and asked, saying, I will that thou give me by and by in a charger, in a bowl, the head of John the Baptist. And the king was exceeding sorry, yet for his oath's sake, he made a promise. Sometimes when you make a dumb promise, you probably shouldn't keep it. For their sakes which sat with him, he's worried about his image before the people, he would not reject her. And immediately the king sent an executioner and commanded his head to be brought, and he went and beheaded him in the prison. That's a dumb promise, Herod. So the people said to Saul, shall Jonathan die who hath wrought this great salvation in Israel? God forbid. As the Lord liveth, there shall not one hair of his head fall to the ground. For he hath wrought with God this day. So the people rescued Jonathan that he died not. Then Saul went up from following the Philistines, and the Philistines went to their own place. So Saul took the kingdom over Israel and fought against all his enemies on every side, against Moab, remember where they came from, Lot's daughter, and against the children of Ammon, the other daughter, and the Edomites, who also should have been killed 300 years earlier, and against the kings of Zobah, and against the Philistines, and whithersoever he turned himself, he vexed them. And he gathered a host and smote the Amalekites, and delivered Israel out of the hands of them that spoiled them. Now the sons of Saul were Jonathan, and Ishua, and Melchishua, and the names of his two daughters were these, the name of the firstborn Merib, and the name of the younger Michal. She shows up later. Very important character. Saul's daughter, Michal. Does anybody know who she married later? King David. And the name of Saul's wife was Ahinoam, and the daughter of her dad. Okay, the name of the captain of the host was Abner, the son of Ner, Saul's uncle. And Kish was the father of Saul, and Ner, the father of Abner, was the son of Abiel. And there was sore war against the Philistines all the days of Saul. And when Saul saw any strong man or any valiant man, he took him unto him. You, come join my army. Remember, Samuel warned the people, this is going to happen. If you elect a king, if you select a king, he's going to take your men to be in his army. He's going to take your oxen to feed his army. He's going to take your stuff. I don't want you to have a king. People say, we want a king anyway. Okay, they got one. King Saul.